Good evening, good evening. Come on, people, can I hear a good evening from all of you? Surprising that this audience is awake. Usually, I get a very dull audience at the start. Well, probably because of the theme of our 240th meeting, the art of war, right? But unlike in war, or like in war, we follow a few ground rules in Toastmasters for every speaker. Rule number one: whenever a speaker is speaking, don't leave the hall. And after the speech ends, just applaud the speaker. That way, the speaker gets energy and stays confident throughout the speech. Rule number two: put your noise-making devices, that is your phones, surprisingly laptops, your watches, and others, on silent or vibrate. I'll give you 5 seconds to do that. That'll be five, four, three, two, and one. Great. I see many of you have already done that. Now let's see if all of you being in Toastmasters remember the third golden rule. What are you not or supposed to do on the stage? Okay, straight from our president there. Though we at Toastmasters don't discourage you from speaking on any topic, when you're treading on topics which are contentious, like sex, religion, politics, or anything of that matter, just ensure that you do not offend any of the audience, fellow members, or others in the crowd. With that being said, let me hand over the mic to the presiding officers for today, Toastmaster Nikhil. Toastmaster Nikhil will like to always introduce himself as someone who's constantly trying to counter and fight his insomnia. The presiding officer for today.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Can I have a good evening in return? A bit more loud, please. It's my first toast. Thank you, Toastmasters. So today, I'd like to start the meeting number 240, themed Art of War. Open. Well, today I will start with a few announcements that the club has, starting with our renewal season is almost up and most people have renewed, and people who are coming to the renewal part who have not renewed yet, I would please request you to renew as soon as you could. Our treasurer and the VP membership has been working to make your renewal experience smooth, and people who have renewed, I'm really grateful and thank you as you have put forth a step forward in your journey as Toastmaster. May this term bring you a lot of experiences, good experiences and learning. And the second announcement would be regarding the area level speech contest, which is going to be tomorrow. So I would like to request everyone who's free tomorrow to please attend it. It's a must go. Our Toastmaster Nikhilesh here is the contest chair for that. So he'll be sending you all the required registration forms. So you could do that. You can fill in. It's a great experience. People, it's not going to be a lousy Sunday for you. It's going to be a really good experience. You see the best speakers in the area come and compete there. And the third one is regarding the tab batches that we have customized. Our VPPR has put in a lot of effort in making them. So give a big round of applause for that, please. And the batch costs 35 rupees. And in the break, I'll show you how the batch looks like. So if you guys are interested, I have already sent you a link regarding the how to purchase that. We'll keep you in the loop. Please join the link if you're interested. With that being said, today's theme, Art of War. Well, it reminds me of that book by the Chinese general Sun Tzu. Yeah, Chinese general Sun Tzu. It's a book I've heard a lot about, like a lot of good things about, but that's it. Like I've just heard about it. I've never been to it. I've always heard it's great about great and strategies and all. So let's find out from our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shambhavi, what she strategizes today in this meeting. Toastmaster Shambhavi.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and another Toastmaster. Can I get a good evening? Thank you. Now, starting with today's theme, the art of war. How many of you have heard of this? Firstly, how many of you use social media? Everyone, except Nikhilesh and Daksh, and you? Yes. So, how many of you must have seen this? The author of the book, Art of War. The name of the writer is Sun Tzu. How many of you have seen that? So people put random like quotes and they say from Art of War, Sun Tzu. But today I'm not going to talk about war. Today the topic huh, that I do every day. So main idea was to talk about strategizing. The other day I was watching this series called The Queen's Gambit. It's about a lady who keeps playing chess, drinks, again plays chess, and that's her life. And in there, now chess is an encapsulation of war, right? It's a game that directly shows war in it. And therein you need to use strategy, you need to think on the spot. And similar situations arise when you are conversing in life, when you have to stand up on some stage and deliver a speech, you need to negotiate with someone. Therein you are on a battlefield, fighting to win. Similar situation was faced by people at YMCA in Bloomington, Illinois, in the 1900s. And there, a person called Ralph C. Smedley was the director of education at the YMCA club in that place. Now, he saw that men there face issues with speaking at meetings, hosting conferences, and he thought he needs to do something about it to help them. And so he started a community club on 22nd October 1924. He started a club in a community setting and named it Toastmasters, where Toastmaster stands for a person who presents toast at banquets and events as such. And thus came to be this organization of called Toastmasters, which today is spread over 144 countries and has more than 280,000 members. Moving forward, here Toastmasters Amrita Bangalore is one such club among all those. Moving forward with today's meeting, so in this meeting, we will have three segments. The prepared speeches segments, the impromptu section, that's the table topic session, and the evaluation section where you will be critiqued by, where the speakers will be critiqued by evaluators. And to do that, I have the general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Sharanya, who is currently lamenting the end of a long month, that's March. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharanya.
Okay, so what is the main job of a VPPR? Make posters. Exactly. So I'm someone who doesn't read much books. I used to read when I was little, but now I don't. So I had no idea about this title. I messaged Shambhavi. We usually message TMoD saying, okay, tell me what's this theme about. Give me some context because I have to make the poster. And she did not reply. It took her a bit of time. And in that much time, I decided, okay, I'll make my own interpretation. There was this hill. There was a soldier with a gun. There was like this shooting sign. I was like, okay, yeah, this is done. Now I'll put in the details and I'll send it. So I was like, okay, wait. I'll ask Shambhavi once. And she said, no, it's not about that. It's about strategizing. So after that, I ended up changing my poster to something related to chess. That is what some Shambhavi gave as an example. If you ask me about chess or other strategy-based games, I don't know. I am more like the strategy comes in like FPS, first-person shooting games. That is what I lean to. There's some people booing over there. And never mind. As a G, today I'm going to be evaluating the table topics, the evaluations, as well as the speakers. So for our evaluations, I have someone to help us. That is our tag team. So for the tag team, first we have a timer, Toastmaster Shivansh, who has a classic intro of his, which is, I'm a part-time student, but a full-time binger. Over to you, Toastmaster Shivansh.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll be the timer for the day. My job is to keep tally of how much time every speaker takes and every speech evaluator and the table topic speaker takes. So the rule is simple for the prepared speakers. Since we don't have any special speeches today, at 5 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll be raising the red card, which will be up till the end of the speech. Now coming to the table topic speakers. At 1 minute, I'll raise the green card. At 1.5 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card, which will again be raised up till the end of the speech. And for the evaluations, 2 minutes for the green card, 2.5 minutes for the yellow card, and 3 minutes for the red card till the end of the speech. And best of luck to everyone. Hope everyone stays in time. Back to the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Sharanya.
Next up, we have the R counter, Toastmaster Aryan. He says that his favorite movie is War. How many of you watched War? Okay, I think I'm the only one who hasn't watched it. I'll ensure to watch it. Over to you, Toastmaster Aryan.
Hi, claps. Let's clap. Yeah, that's better. Hi everyone. I am Aryan, part-time Toastmaster, full-time secretary. Today I will be the R counter of meeting 240. In my role as the R counter, I'll make note of the CRPFs, which is crutches, repeats, pauses, and filler words, and I will provide a detailed report when called upon by the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Now back to Toastmaster Anya.
Last up, we have the Grammarian for today, Toastmaster Tapan. He says that he's going to show us the art of vocabulary today. Over to you, Toastmaster Tapan.
Hello everyone, I am Tapan and I will be acting as the grammarian for today's meeting. As a grammarian, I will pay attention to each speaker's speech and his language usage. And also, it is my responsibility to introduce word of the day and idiom of the day. Word of the day is mellifluous, which means something which is pleasant to hear. It may be a word, it may be a voice or a sound. And the idiom of the day is jump on the bandwagon. Jump on the bandwagon means to join a trend or activity. At the end of the meeting, I will come with my report. As a grammarian, I encourage everyone to use these words. Thank you.
So that's it for our tag team, and we will be back with our evaluation at the end of the meeting. Back to the TMoD.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Now that the GE has announced the war, we have now, after a war is announced, you have to prepare for it. You have to gather resources, you have to build an army, and that's what our speakers today have done. We have an army of speakers who have practiced through and through their scripts to deliver a speech over here. And for the first among the soldiers is Toastmaster Mansi. But before her, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Nikhil, her speech evaluator, who is waging a war with his insomnia currently.
Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Mansi, who's going to attempt her L1 P2 in visionary communication. The objective of her speech is writing a speech with a purpose, which I believe you did and practiced, right? So take a deep breath, get on the stage, do what you're prepared to do, and all the best. I'll come back to you with my report. Back to the TMoD.
Now I call upon Toastmaster Mansi, who says that she is hustling her way throughout the lanes of her life. Toastmaster Mansi, Hyderabad to Bangalore. Hyderabad to Bangalore, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you, TMoD. So, there is this one beautiful quote from the movie The Dead Poets Society that goes like this: Law, business, medicines are the noble pursuits needed to sustain life. But love, art, passion are what we need to stay alive. Had I heard this quote before I chose to be an engineer, my life would have been very different to what it is today. But alas, I didn't, and now here I am pursuing engineering. So when I came here, there are not one but two questions that people kept asking me. One is, are you a North Indian? To which I just kept on answering no. But the second question was, why Amrita? Just a disclaimer, there is nothing wrong about Amrita. I think Amrita is a good college. But, all right. But I think there are certain things that have happened, or maybe certain things that I did that led to what happened and why I ended up here. So I think it's high time that I actually analyze and for once and for all actually admit this to myself. So let me take you back to 2020. COVID hit and I was in 10th grade. And a little backstory to how I was as a student is that I was a very good student. I was a straight A student throughout my life, and never and not once have I gotten a grade below 90%. And ninth and 10th were probably one of the best years of my lives because I aced my papers. I was good both extracurriculars and in my academics. I was a secretary. I was the vice president and captain in my own school council. And I worked hard throughout my way in 10th grade. I sat day and night, at least in the last 1 month of what I was studying. And I was super confident to give my board exams. But alas, that year, because of COVID, my board exams were cancelled. And honestly, when you prepare so hard for something and when that doesn't happen, I think it leaves a sort of pain in all of us, a sort of sadness in all of us. So that happened. But I guess I geared up myself for the next big turn of my life, which was JEE, which was to go to 11th and 12th grade again. So just like every classic Telugu parents, I was given not one but two choices to choose from. You either go to Narayana or Sri Chaitanya. So I sat with the two options in front of me and I did Inky Pinky Ponky and chose one because for me both were just the same. And I went to Narayana for my 11th and 12th grade. If you guys know, 11th and 12th grade in Telangana or the both Telugu states, we have to give two exams, one in your 11th grade and the other one in your 12th grade. So I worked my way throughout 11th without any sort of distractions because most of it was online again. We were called to college just for pre-finals before my board exams. So I had the minimal of distractions and my parents made sure that I was disciplined and consistent with my efforts throughout those 2 years. I mean, throughout that one particular year, at least. And I aced my 11th boards because the anger that I couldn't perform in my 10th board was probably still there somewhere within. And I came out of that exam stage with a flying 97%. Right. And my parents were ecstatic to say the least. I guess that was the first time I saw them so happy and so proud. And when I came back from college to home, they were so happy. They were telling me how everyone were calling and asking, and they were just so proud and telling my daughter scored 97%. And I think that was probably one of the best days I've ever experienced. And then came 12th grade. Like I was going through my 12th grade, so it was all offline now. And this was where I made new friends because most of my 11th and 10th were online. So I couldn't make friends before that. And when I did make the friends, I wouldn't say they were bad people, but I would definitely say that they were in the right kind of people to be friends with. And this is where I started doing all the stuff that probably a JE aspirant shouldn't be doing. Well, I cheated on my tests, I cheated on my weekly exams, I got caught cheating. No, not that. And so I royally screwed up. And when the dates for JEE came out, oh my God, I remember locking myself in my room that night and crying myself and shivering with panic because I knew I screwed up, right? I had to do something. So I mustered up the courage to wake up the next day and pull myself together and try it out again from scratch. So I had like very less of time left with me. I was like, let me just try, give it a shot. Let me just do it. And somehow when the day came to give the exam and I went to the center, and you know this feeling when you see a question paper and you know you're going to ace it like from the within of yourself, like you don't have to think the answer but you subconsciously just keep on writing. That is probably one of the best feelings when you write an exam, trust me. But when I saw the question paper of my JE, I was like, there is no way I'm making through this. There is no way I'm going to ace this. And for the very first time in my life, when I came out of the center and I looked at my parents and I was just like, it was fine, I guess. And I think my parents knew in that very instant that she's not going to make it. And through all of that and 12th boards, where I royally screwed up my boards again, and my percentage dropped from a 97 to a 92, which was an aggregate of 2 years, which means in my 12th grade, I got below 90% for the very first time in my life. And I probably couldn't take that very well. And so I just gave up and I just went to and wrote exams after exams after exams. And when everything was done and I just had to choose between the colleges that were left, I remember crying myself because this was not how I planned things to go. And when I was doing this with my parents, they just told me one thing. They were like, we don't care about your grades, we don't care about where you end up, but did you care enough about what you wanted to do? And I think that hit me like a ton of bricks. Nevertheless, here I am, hustling through lanes of life, running in a new different race. And something that is in the back of my head even today is that, am I running away from something or am I running towards something? And I guess that's something we'll never know. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. Within the 7 minutes, you gave me too many instances of deja vu. I've been doing that for every quiz and midsem I've had or nsem and in BTech. Now, next up, we have a second speaker, Toastmaster Arpita. But before that, like to call her Evaluator Toastmaster Daksh, who says, if life gives you lemons, double it and give it to the next person.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shambhavi, for that very amazing intro. Good evening, guys. I am okay. Thank you. Finally, someone responded. I am Toastmaster Daksh, and I was a part-time student and a full-time secretary, but now it is, of course, Toastmaster Aryan. Anyway, also a very good afternoon, good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Arpita. Toastmaster Arpita will be attempting her L1 Project 4, Part 1 of her evaluation speech. The purpose of this speech and this project is for the speaker to present a speech and to receive a feedback from the evaluator and incorporate the feedback in the next speech. Toastmaster Arpita, I have already spoken to you and have asked you for your main goal for the speech. So all the best to you. And now back to the TMoD Toastmaster Shambhavi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Daksh. Now introducing our speaker, Toastmaster Arpita. I have a pretty personalized introduction for her. She is someone with whom I would like to do what Daisai likes to do with everyone he sees. If you know, you know. So yeah, over to Toastmaster Arpita. Chasing dreams, Toastmaster Arpita. Toastmaster Arpita, chasing dreams.
Well, have you ever felt you're in a rut, constantly in a rut? Or have you felt as if your potential is remained untapped? Well, we've all gone through that phase, or we are still going through that phase. Well, I am going through that phase. There was one phase which I want to share with you guys today. That was when I decided to pursue my interest in digital art. So digital art was a domain which I was really very interested and which kicked me in because I was really good at arts when I was in 11th and 12th. There was something, I had a life except JE, of course. So at that point of time, my whole life, I used to love art. So I just compared myself with one thing, that people who are doing well or people who work in this domain aren't aliens, right? Right? Yeah, so that's what kicked me in. And yeah, I started from the basics, and yeah, that's what happened. I went with the flow, and but still I was that person who'd expect success in one night, and of course it's not possible, but somehow at that point of time I did start to expect that. So
I was stuck with the beginner level of let it be any, the normal scenery, that two mountains and the river over there. Yeah, that was me before in digital painting when I came there. But one thing, I just posted it on Instagram when I just opened my own digital art uh, page. That time I just saw that, and I had fuel on motivation to like do that, and I did that. I just posted one post, and because of that, I received a lot of hate comments. And the person who told that, yeah, you are not that good person in this work and stuff. But I was feeling a lot of hatred in myself, and going through a rough patch of life. And even my parents didn't know that what was I even doing at that point of time. I coincidentally or incidentally, I strike on an anime series called Blue Lock, which is a story about Isagi Yoichi, who is a great football player, and he is not a typical football or a typical sports prodigy. Yeah, he is talented, but at the same time, at that same point of time, he, he was basically a person who had a lot of self doubts, and also he thought he was the weakest link in his whole team. The same thing I could relate to is because I used to compare my own drawings with others, the other people on the social media and stuff, where I was stuck in the beginner level and still working on my own progress. But I was comparing myself with the great people out there. And then uh, moving on with Desagi's journey, we come to this part where he decides to join Blue Lock. What is Blue Lock? Blue Lock is a Japanese training company which pushes their own uh, people out there to cross their limits on for training football, and that's what I did. I pushed myself out there, learning skills. Basically, I invested a lot. I invested my money on that. And yeah, I did grew my skills over color theory. Color theory is nothing but the way you contrast your colors. How does the color go with the whole design and stuff? But at the same point of time, I was lacking with something. That is, I was going on comparing myself with others. That somehow I was just working and not, uh, you know, doing it, giving my own full stuff. That you know, you're just working and you're not doing it with your mind or with your heart. At that point of time, the another story of Isagi which hit me was he was resilient. That was, he never gave up, and also he reached out to his mentors. What happened with his mentors? Well, he had this importance of partnership, and talking to his mentors, and gaining a lot of knowledge, like taking his own mistakes as his own milestones. And I wanted to do the same. But at that point of time, I did wanted to promise one thing for myself, that I am working on my own path. Others are working in theirs, and I am working on my path, right? The same thing I inculcated, and I reached out to my cousin who was really good in this domain, and her skills on this color theory was on the peak. Her uh, her support, her guidance, everything was invaluable. I loved her, the way she told me, and also she made me realize a lot of things. That is, first one is, the more you experiment, the more you learn, and the more you learn, the more you start respecting your own uniqueness. Because I was that person who was really very influenced, and I was putting myself into limitations. So what do I learn from Isagi Yoichi's story? First, it's been a roller coaster for Isagi's life journey. That is, going through the self doubts, and then going to a huge cult where they push you to your limits, and also learning and progressing. That's what we have to do, right? The same thing I did, and I didn't hit my goal properly, like not an actual goal of uh, striking the ball, but yeah, I did hit a goal of getting an opportunity to work with my favorite YouTubers, like the favorite YouTube channel in this domain. So yeah, that was one of my milestone which I could cover till now. And yeah, that's the thing. Now coming back, how do you feel, or how do you redefine your potential? Is like this. See, your potential is not only based on these four walls, or you kind of have your perceived limitations. Your potential is beyond your perceived limitations. So yeah, that does make a huge lot of sense. So if anyone here feels stuck, just remember Isagi Ochi's story. And if you want a reminder, I'm there. Thank you. Over to the team.
Brilliant speech, Toastmaster Arpita. Reminds me of finishing Blue Lock series, which I left in between. Now, coming back to the meeting, day by day, we need to negotiate with people, right? When we go on the street, we want to buy something, we start bargaining. The person says 201 earring. You'll be like, nahi bhaiya, 10 rupaye mein do. Give it in 10. And some people are able to get it at that price. But more commonplace for students is when you try to negotiate for marks. I had my computer network quiz like 1 month ago, and our teacher asked us to come to his cabin and check our papers. So along with a bunch of people, I went there. I saw my paper. I compared it with the answer key. There was a 2 marks question. For those who are familiar with computer networks, it was about classless addressing. I did classful addressing in that question. So I solved that question using 2 methods. One was proper method, one was shortcut. I got wrong answer in one method. I got right answer in one method. It was a 2 mark question. I went to sir. Sir, I wrote right answer, sir. Sir, give marks. I should see this answer or this answer. Sir, correct answer. No. I went. People asked, 5 people, 6 people asked out. I went again. Sir, 1 mark, sir. You tell, if I ask one question with true or false and you write true and false, which should I check? Sir, that correct answer, sir. No. Go. What would you do after that? Go. You have 2 seconds to think. One option is cry. I cried. I didn't cry, like 1 marks. Huh? Break. Beg. He'll not listen only. Kidnap. So this is impromptu. Huh? Correct answer was there. Same word in answer key, same word in paper. Still he'll not check. He'll check the wrong one. One person did also for MCQs. So many ideas within this span of time. That's what you call impromptu speaking. And that's what we have in this segment of Toastmasters, the table topic session, for which we have our table topic master, Toastmaster Harsha, who introduces herself very shortly, saying, "Hey there, I'm Harsha." You might put it to charge. You might want to put it on charge. And over to Toastmaster Harsha. Toastmaster Harsha, yeah.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I was expecting a third speaker. I didn't expect the TMoD to call me this early, but yeah, it's okay. So when I heard about the theme Art of War, I thought, okay, see, art and war are nowhere related to each other. So I thought, okay, how am I going to design my table topic speeches or my questions? So then I had the same dilemma as what Sharanya was facing. So then when I started looking up on the meaning of art of war, I kind of figured out that it was something related to strategizing. So with today, when our TMoD was giving us various insights on strategies, I thought, how would it be if I learn from you or we learn from each other about how we implement various strategies to overcome various situations in our lives, how we use our wit, our adaptability to overcome various situations, or if we come across a situation, how creatively we are going to handle it. So that is what my table topic session is going to be about today. I'm just leaving it here. So wants to volunteer first? Who wants to be my first speaker? I see a hand there. Who wants to come? Okay, that's our president.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Nikhilesh. So this is
Hi.
my table topic for you. Okay, so you and your friends set out on a hiking trip into a dense forest. Suddenly a storm hits, separating you from the group, and suddenly you realize that you're lost in a place where you have no phone signal or very limited supplies. How will you apply your survival instincts and how will you strategize in order to get to a safer zone?
Can you repeat the question again? It was a bit too lengthy.
See, basically, you are stuck in a forest. You went on a hiking trip with your friends and you are stuck in a forest. And a storm hits, which leads you to drift away from your friends, and you are lost with no phone signal or unlimited supplies. How will you survive?
Wait, I have limited supplies.
Yes. And no phone signal.
No phone signal. All right, so basically I'm lost and I have no signal and no supplies.
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone. You guys can't hear me because I'm lost in a forest. Sorry, you guys replying. Anyway, let's just say I'm lost in forest. And after watching these, like growing up, after watching Man vs. Wild and all of that on Nat Geo, Discovery, and Animal Planet, and a lot of other things, I think we all Indians know a bit about know how to survive in the wild. At least people who stay in the hostel definitely do. Because I am not that person who needs to, who doesn't have the need to take a bath every day. Like I do. But yeah, then I don't find that urge to do that. I don't feel like, oh, I haven't established anything of that sort. So yeah, the one thing is, if I have very less water, I know how to use it very, delicately, precisely. So water is not a problem. Coming to food, well, I'm a hostler, so anything, anywhere, done. So food is sorted, and how to reach back to people. Well, hopefully the people I've gone on a trek or hike with, they'll notice that I'm missing. I'm hoping that they notice that I'm missing and they come back in search of me. All right. That's why some people, so I'll make sure that I go with people who actually care and don't leave me behind. Like some people who left me in Majestic at 5 a.m. in the morning or 3 o'clock in front of Soul Space, and they just left me to survive on my own. So I think, yeah, I'll make sure that the kind of people I'm going on a hike with are good. And even if I miss going, even if I know get lost, some people here have taught me how to survive on my own. So yeah, more or less, I am ready. Water sorted, food sorted, and yeah, survival skills I definitely have. So I'm good. And back to the TTM.
Thank you, Nikhilesh, for that amazing table topic session. Who's going to be my next volunteer?
Hello, Toastmaster Harsha.
Hi, Jasvitha, and this is my scenario for you. Imagine you're the mastermind behind a high-stake heist. Describe your strategic approach to outsmart the authorities to execute the perfect robbery.
Can you repeat it, please?
Sure. Imagine you're the mastermind behind the high-stake heist. Okay. Describe your strategic approach to outsmart the authorities to execute the perfect robbery.
Thank you for that topic. Yes, if I am the mastermind in robbing a bank or, yes, one possibility. So if I'm a mastermind, I have seen a lot of movies. I've seen the series also, The Money Heist.
So always and always, I always find a flaw or a loophole in these series that I can do better. But if I really do a heist, I think whole heist will be a loophole. So that the moment I step into the bank or the organization, things are not going to go really well. So what am I going to do? Being a topper of my class, I know what to do and what to write in my examination paper. So as I know that things in reality are not as similar to what that goes on in the movies and the TV series, I'll first make a list of all the things that are going to happen. And I'm going to have a team of people who are very well versed in all the series that are required for a heist. People who are not very much in this room, who are sleeping, not one of them. The people who are very, what do you say, into heist just for the fun of it, not for the money. So that once we get the money, they kill me and take all the money. I want people who are going to do the heist for the fun of it. And then we will first steal a blueprint, I guess. That's what people do in the movies, and they stick everything on a board and look at it and get all the ideas. I think I'll do that. I'll look at the board forever and ever until the heist becomes a success. And as again, I am going to the mastermind. So I am going to be the person who is 100 kilometers away from the heist so that my people can go and do or die for me. Thank you. Back to the TDM.
Okay, so I got to know that we have a guest in this meeting. He is Venkat. So I would like to request Venkat to come and attempt a table topic.
Hi everyone.
Hi
Hello.
Venkat, welcome to meeting 240, and this is my question for you. Talk about a time when acting less confident or strong helped you win or succeed.
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Talk about a time when you were less confident, anxious, and it really helped you in a situation, helped you succeed a situation.
Uh, right now I'm feeling less confident and little bit. This is the first time. Hi everyone, I'm Venkat. I will be the new member of the Toastmasters. So thank you. Oh, yeah, thank you. Um, when I come to the stage, I feel little awkward what people think about me and what I have to think and what I have to say. So I don't want to think about it. I want to clear my mind. I want to say what to tell and where to start it so that it will improve my speaking skills and communication with the audience so that they will feel comfortable to me and friendly to me. So I want to be a little normal way and normal talk to what I have to say and a better way of taking examples so that everybody can understand and listening so that no one get bored. Thank you. That's all. I don't know what to say right now.
Thank you, Venkat, for being such a sport and coming up the minute I call you. I think that takes a whole lot of courage. So, do we have time for another table topic?
Mahedar.
Okay, so who's gonna be my next volunteer?
Mahedar.
Ayyo. Yeah. Hi, Harsha.
Hi. May I know your name, please?
Mahedar. Mahi.
Okay. Hi, Mahi.
Yeah.
This is my question for you.
Yeah.
Describe a time when you had to navigate politics or competition strategically to achieve a professional goal.
Come again. Can you please come again?
Describe a time when you had to navigate politics or competition strategically to achieve a professional goal.
Okay, that's a tough topic to talk on, to be speaking on. Okay, right from the beginning of my life, there has never been a phase of my life where I be the person who will be like making the uh, strategy for something or any other thing. And being in politics, I think I'll never be making a strategy to win in politics, because I never wanted myself to be a leader. Like it might be in the college president thing or even in the tab. Have been there in tab for more than like 1.5 years, uh, I guess so. Uh, During that time, I was able to only give like 3 speeches. So I think now you people might be knowing like how bad I was at even being in something. It's not like demeaning my own self, like. Uh, but the thing is, when I started giving speeches, then I came to know like I'll be good at something at least. And okay, then so uh, I'm very bad at strategizing something. The only thing I'll be good at strategizing is IPL maybe. Like who will be winning the match today? Like so I'll be good at not at betting. I'm not supposed to speak on that. Okay, whatever. Like Shivansh somehow told the fact which I'm good at strategizing at least. The only thing I'll be good at strategizing is making a movie, or because I'm good at watching movies, and I'll be very good at strategizing bets. Yeah, Shivan's already told. So that will be the only thing I will be good at strategizing something. So I wish I will be good at strategizing today's match. Who will be the winner, Shivansh? Can you please? So it will not be winning. So okay, thank you. That's my strategy.
Thank you so much. Should we wind up or can we do one more?
Wind up, wind up.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the table topic session. I hope you all really enjoyed it. So yeah, back to the TMoD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harsha. And now I'll utter a very mellifluous word called break. Yes, it's a very popular word these days. Have a break, have a Kit Kat, you're super stressed, take a break. Similarly, in a war, when it goes on, it's evening, people take a break to resume in the morning. So let's jump on the bandwagon and take a 5 minutes break. Timer, thank you so much. To start stopwatch. Okay, those masters, the break is over. Unfortunately, we have to start the battle again. It's morning again. Now, coming to my thinking after the battle for that 1 mark. Before this, I had a teacher who used to give you marks if you wrote. So if you have a numerical, you'll be given some values, right? You're given this, find this. That teacher, if you write given for this question, easily you have one mark. In second sem, that teacher was. I don't know if you can guess or no. No. She'll cut even if you write right answer. No. So, huh? I think you got it. So, no. You're telling everyone except the teacher. Anyways, last person to do that. So, scenario is not always the same everywhere you go, and you learn every time you do something, every action you take, every situation you are in, you learn something, and you reflect on that learning. And that's what we're going to do in this segment now, in the evaluation segment, where we will have our general evaluator, Toastmaster Sharanya, along with all the evaluators and tag team, who will give us a comprehensive report about our performance in today's meeting. Over to the general evaluator.
So firstly, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Nikhil, who will be giving the evaluation for Toastmaster Mansi. Over to you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Oh, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And coming to my evaluation for my target speaker, Mansi. I'm the person that can relate to every word you have said, every emotion you have said. I was that guy who hits the bandwagon right after the 10th, after my 10th. So my evaluation to you is, you started with a quote, which is quite catchy and caught the audience attention, which is a nice thing. Starting with a joke or a quote helps you catch the audience attention. Second thing was, your story had a very smooth and a gentle flow to it, because you were smart picking your own story. So you were at an ease of narrating your story, which is very smart. And then your smile. I think you had a mix of emotions, like when you felt sad and you felt happy, but you had this witty smile to it, so which added a light flavor to your speech, right? So even in your sad or down moments, you still had that smile. So we were kind of we kind of had a light mood when you were narrating a story, which was really good. So the challenge that I want to give you in your next speech is, your speech could have had a sad and a happy moment. You could have smiled and carried on with a witty smile when you said you had 97%, and you could have lowered your voice or tone and change your expression when you said you're at a low point of your life. So that's a challenge I want to give you in the next speech. Apart from this, there are few things I would like to suggest to improve your speech. That would be, you were kind of looking down when you were in the moment. You were kind of looking down. Your speech was more about interpersonal relations, like how you had relations and your relation with your parents or your friends. So I would ask you to connect with the audience. You keep the more eye contact, and it helps you stay in the story. When you look down, the connection kind of misses. So that's what I want you to look into it. And you made a contact with an audience, which kind of baffled you in the middle. When you said that I was cheating, it wasn't a question, right? It wasn't a question. You were just narrating your story, and someone said something, and you like replied to it. I would suggest you to not do that. Like, people, you had a flow to it. Unless you have a question to ask to the audience, you don't engage with the audience, right? You're telling a story. People would say you continue with your story. Unless you have a question, you can. But apart from that, the purpose of your speech was to write a speech. Speech was to write a speech with a purpose, which I think you did very well. So kudos to you on that, and congratulations. Thank you. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. So firstly, let me give my evaluation for Toastmaster Mansi. You had a lot of humor in your speech, which even I could catch, and it would make the speech really a lot more interesting. Then you used this point called contradiction, where you talked about how good a good experience of writing a nice paper is, but then you suddenly talked about how your paper did not go exactly that way. So I was like, I wasn't aware until the last minute about how your paper went. So that kind of a suspense building was really good. And then one thing with your speech was that after each point that you told, you explained it. That's not something that I find often, because you just tell what you've written in your script, but not explain what you're telling. So that was a very engaging approach. And you ended with a quote which got the audience pondering and hooked them until the end. Two points I'd like to point out is, firstly, you could hold the mic a little more closer so that we could hear you a little more well. Your mic was over here, so we couldn't hear you much. Next is that the purpose of the speech was L1P2, which is deliver a speech with a purpose. And the one before this is usually an icebreaker. I found that your theme was kind of similar in the first speech as well as the second one. I mean, that's totally fine, because you had to deliver a speech with a purpose. But then if you could bring in this as a challenge and next time deliver something different for a different project, that would be something you could consider. Then Toastmaster Nikhil, you started talking about emotions and even complimented Mansi on her smile and how that was engaging in her speech. You gave tips on how to fix her vocal modulation. And you also mentioned very well that she had to engage a lot more with the audience, which was correct. One more thing I could suggest you is that while you were taking note while Mansi was giving her speech, you're writing notes below eye level, like you weren't making eye contact with Mansi. That could be a little discouraging to the speaker, that oh, my evaluator is not exactly looking or focusing at me. That is something you could consider. Then next we have Toastmaster Daksh to evaluate Toastmaster Arpita. Over to you, Toastmaster Daksh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanya. Good evening, guys, once again. And firstly, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Arpita for completing her L1 P4. So huge round of applause for her once again. Toastmaster Arpita, I have a lot of evaluations, and starting with, I really liked how well structured your speech was. So, you know, sometimes when people are giving a storytelling type of speech, when they're trying to link their own life experiences with, let's say, an anime or maybe a show they have watched, I say that I see many people saying that, okay, I was watching this show and this happened, but you didn't exactly do that. You linked it very well to an anime or to an anime character actually. So the linking was something that I really liked. You were able to grab everyone's attention because you not only linked with the people who are artists or trying to be artists, but also linked with the people who watch anime as such. So that was really nice. Another thing I liked is the way you tell your story. I think you're a really good storyteller. The way you present yourself, the way you speak has the potential to be a really good storyteller. Now, coming to a few things that can be improved, I think that your transitions between the links can be a little better. Now, here's what I felt during your speech was you had a lot of ideas. When you wanted to connect one topic to another topic, I felt you had so many ideas that you got a little confused. How do I go about it? So my suggestion is when you're in that situation, just keep it very simple because the way you speak is really nice. And as long as you can keep the flow going, I really enjoy your speech. Now coming to a few extra things is of course voice modulation and the way you use your stage. Uh, Let me give you an example. When you said that they aren't aliens, right? And people are required, so you just said right. An example could be right. So this is like a very subtle way of adding voice modulation. Another thing is when you said you draw two mountains and a river, you could have shown like two mountains and a river. So even though your speech didn't have much room for much voice modulation, I feel like very subtle amounts of voice modulation can do the job, even though your speech is more of a storytelling. So this is one thing you can really take up as a challenge. You have a potential to be a very mellifluous speaker, a very good storyteller. You don't have to jump on the bandwagon of what people do. You don't have to be very dramatic with your voice modulation. I think that your storytelling aspect is really nice. Keep working on that. Try improve, or like I should say, try incorporating a little bit of, you can say, you can have conversations, like maybe a person who stands here and a person who stands here, and try using word message that way. So I really like the way you use storytelling. I really liked your speech. Voice modulation can be improved. So please take that as a challenge and make sure that you work up on the storytelling aspect. That's it from my side. Back to Toastmaster Sharanya.
Coming to my evaluation for Toastmaster Arpita, I have to tell that I've been listening to Arpita's speeches from the very beginning, like from her first speech. And this speech showed me great improvement. Like, this is in a good aspect. She used to be someone who was a lot more timid while speaking and like reserved. And today her speech was like, I'm here and I'm here to tell you something, and you listen to it and you have to understand it. I want to hear Arpita give a keynote speech, which is like a 15-minute speech someday. That would be really nice to listen to. And you talked about every aspect and went in deep. You also gave like proper expressions and hand gestures. One thing you could do is use the stage a little bit more. You used it from like here till here. You could try using it a little more. The entire stage is yours. Then one challenge for you next time is that when you give a speech, it's obviously that you understand the speech and you're giving it from your point of view, but there always has to be a structure and a transition. You tend to use yeah and you know to concatenate your sentences and like go from one to another. If you try to practice a little more on the arrangement of the speech, like what line comes after another, that could be a good addition to your speeches. Then Toastmaster Daksh, obviously a very experienced evaluator, so that evaluation was very well done. You gave a lot of tips that Arpita could consider. Two things I would like to suggest is that you could arrange it a lot more better. And if you didn't pay, your pace was a little too much, so it was hard to catch for the person listening. So Toastmaster Daksh, yeah. So if you are telling something, the speaker has to understand it and sink in so that they don't repeat the mistake. So if you can shorten your pace and like go a little more slowly, that would be pretty good. Next, we have our tag team. I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Tapan to give the evaluation for the grammarian.
Hello friends, I am back with my report. Coming to the usage of word of the day and idiom of the day, only Shambhavi and Daksh used word of the day and idiom of the day. Apart from this, there are some good grammar usages by the speakers. Like Harsha used high stake heist, which means a top level robbery being planned. And then there are other few words like hustling, pondering, timid. These kind of words we use daily, but they are very rare in speeches. I encourage remaining participants also to jump on the bandwagon and use word of the day and idiom of the day. Thank you.
My evaluation for Toastmaster Tapan is that he ended up using his idiom of the day and word of the day multiple times. And that's the best way to lead someone is through an example. One thing you could consider is not come up on stage and say that not many people used. You could say that I hope that from next time, more people end up using it. So next we have our R counter, which is Toastmaster Aryan.
Firstly, great meeting. Let's give it up. Especially the VP who organized everything. I would like to shout him out as well. Okay. Now the meeting was great with perfect speeches, which I related to a lot more than I would like to admit, and with table topics, which were so funny I don't remember any of them. But now moving on, I will tell how many CRPFs all of you used. First one, just to say, preface it. If you had less than 4 crutch words, you had a perfect speech because it is normal to do all that. And if you had more than 4 or 5 crutch words, I'll just tell that your favorite crutch word was that. So, it makes it seem nice. So the first person I'll be telling is Tapan. The favorite crutch word was A. And favorite crutch word for Mansi. Actually, she did not use that many crutch words, but rather she overextended some of the words like so and, which, it's good. And I'm probably using too much. But if you work on that, it'll help your speech. Then it is Arpita. Arpita's favorite crutch word was and. Then was Toastmaster Nikhilesh, who used so many times so. And then Jasvitha gave a perfect table topic with no crutch words or very less crutch words. Then comes to Toastmaster Venkat, whose favorite crutch word was A. Then is Toastmaster Mahi, whose favorite crutch word was Then Toastmaster Nikhil, whose favorite crutch word was A again. And Toastmaster Daksh, whose favorite crutch word was so. I'm not going to be evaluating any of the big 4 as these are impromptu roles, which may require a lot more unplanned speaking. So now back to Toastmaster Sharanya.
My evaluation for Toastmaster Aryan is that you get 2 minutes to evaluate any evaluation role, and he made the most out of it, and he made it funny. That was a very good point. And he also such a true AI student. He set a threshold on the number of CRPFs which are like good and which would be a little bit of an improvement. Next up, we have our timer, which is Toastmaster Shivansh. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone, again. Again, as Toastmaster Aryan said, great meeting. Surprisingly and very fortunately for me, everyone till the last speech evaluator was in time. And then right after that, straight up, both my Both my kind of acquaintances, Toastmaster Tapan and Toastmaster Aryan, failed to meet the time limits. Toastmaster Tapan gave his review in just 41 seconds, which is way below the time. And for Toastmaster Aryan, it was 1 minute and 43 seconds, which is again below the time. The evaluation is for 2 minutes to 3 minutes and a 30 second, including the buffer time. Now coming to the prepared speaker, Toastmaster Mansi took 6 minutes and 39 seconds within time. Toastmaster Arpita took 6 minutes and 58 seconds, again within time. To the evaluators, Toastmaster Nikhil took 2 minutes and 20 seconds within time. Toastmaster Daksh took 2 minutes and 47 seconds, 2 minutes and 47 seconds within time. The TTM speakers, Toastmaster Nikhilesh, 2 minutes and 3 seconds, which is within time, including the buffer time. Toastmaster Jasvitha, 1 minute and 57 seconds within time. The guest Venkat, 1 minute and 12 seconds within time. Toastmaster Mahedar, 1 minute and 58 seconds within time. And so timing is of utmost importance in a speech, especially. One thing that can be done to improve your timing is preparing the speech and making it a 4-minute speech, because the crutch words take 1 minute for most of us. That's it from my side. Back to the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Sharanya.
My evaluation for Toastmaster Shivansh is that he was given the role at like the very last minute of the meeting, probably just 30 seconds before it started, and he did the role very well. We almost imprisoned him and made him sit over here and handed over the 3 cards, and he still did the role very well and properly stated all the timings. So that was well done. Now, let me go on to the overall meeting evaluation. First, we have a presiding officer. I think it's Toastmaster Nikhil's first time being the presiding officer. Yeah, that was a very well introduction to the club, as well as I am pretty sure the new member had a good impression, as well as you thanked Toastmaster Nikhil. Yeah, you thanked the audience for renewing, which is a very good job done. Hopefully the others renew because of that. Next, we have our TMoD, Toastmaster Shambhavi. She, first of all, very interesting theme. I don't think anyone would have decided to tap on a book and have a whole theme around it. Very interesting theme. And what happened with Toastmaster Shambhavi is that we have a short intro about Ralph C's medley, but she told the whole history, which honestly even I wasn't aware about. Then the theme was very well incorporated in each and every sentence for the flow of the meeting, which was very well done. Then we have our table topics master, Toastmaster Harsha. Very creative take on the theme, and I wouldn't imagine that's how you could include the theme into all the questions that she took. And they were quite long, very descriptive, and that was very well done. I'd also like to give the evaluation for the table topic speakers. First, we had Toastmaster Nikhilesh. He very well incorporated what the topic was to his real life, like wild was compared to hostel. And then what happened, not the main theme, but he took the constraints that was like limited amount of supplies or having no signal, and created a story out of that in the beginning. That was very well done. Toastmaster Jasvitha, she related her real life nature, which is in class being a topper, and how she would do a heist. It was really good take. No one would think that a topper could like get on with a heist. So that was very well done. Then Toastmaster Venkat, he's not over here, but I think we all have been in that position where we attended a Toastmaster meeting for the first time and we were dragged onto stage and told, now deliver. And he talked about how he's hesitant about public speaking and how he wants to speak his heart out, as well as listen. I think listening is something that's like super underrated and we should also take into consideration. Then Toastmaster Mahi, who is probably giving a table topic after years. So maybe 1 year. Yeah. So that was a very, you told us about yourself. You told about how you would strategize using, it was kind of hard because not all of us have been through political situations and tackled something in our life. So you talked about IPL, how you like strategizing, and related to something like movies that you like. One thing you could do is take on a more positive approach to the whole topic that is there. Overall, the meeting, we started it very late, but it was like 3 of our executive committee members who haven't handled a full meeting on our own before. So there was a bit of a glitch over there, but nevertheless, we did a good job. And one more thing I want to point out is that when a speaker is speaking, let us not interrupt them. Right? Because there is a different project for that exclusively where you have to interrupt the speaker. If you interrupt them in between, they might forget or blank out for a few seconds on what they wanted to speak. So that is something. I'm done with my evaluation finally, and back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shambhavi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanya. A very intricate evaluation, and the same from all the speakers who came up here. Now, the speeches have been given, the evaluations have been made, the reports have been passed on. Is the battle over? No. No, yet another battle starts. Because Toastmaster timer gave me a deadline. He told before 6:30 you should finish the meeting. Okay. So, no. I will divide time. I shall strategize. Huh. So, what do you take away from today's meeting? The art of war. Very abstract, but okay. Yes, very minimal. Very well, legit, very valid. Huh? Anyone will go read that book, The Art of War? Wrong choice. Don't read. Why would you read? The book says the biggest victory is by not having a battle. So no renewing, no battle. You write paper, conference paper, journal paper as a student. What do you do? Some small novelty you will put. 2 papers you will take, you will mix, you will present as one paper. Objective of presenting a paper is to bring some innovation. Our objective is chumma publish something. Same with this person. Chumma publish something. Huh. And then there have been major wars in the world, World War I, World War II. People got tired of that, made up one thing called UNESCO. And I'd say, go folks, build your own UNESCOs. Strategize in your life, plan your wars, plan your battles. Instead of dragging along, stressing about something, strategize. And yeah, when you're free, just play chess with people around you because that's what I do. And yeah, that would be all for today's theme. Over to the presiding officer. When? Friend. When what? Chess. Become friend first. I have 28 minutes.
Toastmaster Shambhavi to an excellent session. I think you should take 2 more. Do you want me to feed back? Okay, fine. So there's a few announcements I missed out. Sorry for that. It's regarding Toastmaster Shambhavi, who had path breaker, who had completed a path breaker. So give a big round of applause. Toastmaster Shambhavi, I would like to ask you to give her 2 minutes, 2 minutes of your time to tell us how your experience was of a path breaker, please.
Pata hai. 27 minutes. And you know, when you finish a path, there is one more speech left for 10 minutes where you have to tell about your journey throughout the path. That I'll tell. I'll tell her. Okay. Okay. I don't want to reattempt. It's approved. Base camp complete. So see, from level 1, when I gave my icebreaker, you guys know Saurabh. Most of you might not. He is a senior, super senior. He evaluated my icebreaker, and I spoke out stories like how I gave a story today on this stage. That way I narrated a story that day, and the rest of it I wrote my script at 12 a.m. I gave my speech at 4 a.m. that day, 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. And that evaluator evaluated me so well, that started my confidence. Okay. And the first level I completed was in March 2022 till my pathbreaker on 27th March 2024. Over those times, Toastmasters has become more of a family. Friends got replaced with Toastmasters. Ah, roll there, roll there. Yeah, and it's just the main thing that had, I used to struggle with was writing scripts. I still do, but it's gotten easier. But so many times coming on stage, my TMoD today was totally impromptu. Really, I was watching. I was watching this show. I don't know, Queen's Gambit, and after that, I saw Aryan put out a list. Everyone has taken all roles except TMoD. I was like, why not go with this theme? I was like, I'll put strategies, but then I googled synonyms of strategy, and one far away meaning came out: the art of war. So all these 2 years, all these coming up and speaking, this has given me a confidence. Like, yeah, I can come here, I can speak for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I haven't tried 30 minutes, but I think I can do that. And apart from that, the community I've seen here, yeah, that's what's kept me forward. And I'll be taking a break. I'll become some reinstated member in the future, I hope. But for now, Rode. Rode. Yeah, that's how my experience has been. And yeah, my next pathway, keep giving recommendations. I'll consider for like 6 months. Over to you, presiding officer.
Well, a very inspirational testimony, I would be. I'll tell you something personally, Toastmaster Shambhavi. My first meeting, it was me, Nikhilesh, and Toastmaster Sanidhya there, and you were the R counter for that. And I saw you, my first Toastmaster meeting, you were the R counter, and I've seen your journey in this. You're my mentor too. You're my first mentor. So it's really nice to see someone, achieve so much in Toastmasters. I hope that your break is kind of small. We would love to see you back. And with that, I would like to go to the result session. Where's the GM? It's in the group. The phone. Results. Okay, well, anybody has anything to say? Any good thing that has happened to them in the week? Yeah, the guest, Toastmaster Mahedar, please. Hey guys, please, claps, applause.
Hello, Tapsters. Okay, should I be saying the same thing that it's good to be back on the stage again? It might be or it might not be. No, 1 more hour. That might be more, no? Like that might be a bit more. Okay. I mean, I'll not be taking too much of your time, and I'll not be evaluating your people too, because that's Sharanya who should be doing it. I'm just here to give you a feedback based on the whatever it, like I've felt, whatever I felt, I'll be telling you now. Like, you people like try not to use more like this informal usages in your speeches when you are like let the example be gonna or wanna or and also people try not to use things like guys in a Toastmasters meeting. Instead, you can use people, something like that. You can use more that kind of words when you are speaking on the stage. And this thing I wanted to mention from the beginning. People, okay. Try to clap when a speaker is coming onto the stage, or when a speaker completes his speech, or whenever a role taker comes onto the stage. Try to clap in a good manner, like clap well when a role taker is coming, because it gives them the push to be good on the stage. And one more thing is like shake hands in a stiff way. Like it's not like just coming on shaking hands like, okay, that's right. Try to give a stiff shake hands to the role taker, whoever it is, and the other role taker, whoever it is giving. And this thing, I think already Sharanya covered. Try not to interact with the speaker until and unless the speaker initiates the interaction with you. Okay, like it might be what Sharanya told is the same thing I will be telling. It might distract the speaker, like they might get out of the speech what they have prepared for. So try not to interact with the speaker until and unless they initiate the first interaction. It's like when they ask a question, then you can interact with them. And one more thing I want to tell is speakers, like when you ask a question, like give a pause for a while for the audience to react to your question. Don't ask a question and then immediately go on to the next question. Try to give a pause for a while so that the audience can react. And this thing, I think most of the uh, Toastmasters might have told you, like uh, try to interact more with your mentors, whoever it is. And I think they might have told you like how to structure your speech, right? uh, the most commonly used thing is like introduction, body, and then the conclusion. They might have told you, but I'm simply admitting it. I mean, telling it over here again. Try to interact more with your mentors, because they might not be the people. They might not be available for you most of the time because they are not part of college anymore. Am I correct? Like most of your mentors are from either they might be working or they might be involved in some other stuff. They are not the ones who will be coming towards you, and they are not the ones who will be bothering you. You are the ones who should be bothering them, and you should get your output done right. And that's it, I think. Yeah, that was a great meeting though. Again, I used an informal usage, so don't be that, and try not to. And one more thing, everybody says this, and I don't know, for some reason, uh, never a Toastmaster meeting started on time, I guess. Isn't it? At least Tabs meeting, okay. Okay, anyhow, try to start on time. If the meeting starts at 4:30, try to be here by 4 o'clock, especially role takers, whoever responsible for the meeting to start. And okay, I think I'm preaching too much. Okay, that was a great session to be here and to be back on the stage, and everybody done so well. That's it from my side. That was a very great meeting. Thank you. And can I tell one more thing? And try to attend offline meetings more. I know if it is not possible, you can attend online. That's why hybrid meetings are made for. But try to attend Toastmasters more often in offline. Yeah. Thank you. Over to presiding officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahedar. That was a very insightful evaluation. Mahedar, sorry for that. We'll definitely build on that. And coming to the results. Okay, guys. So the best of tag team goes to the counter Toastmaster Aryan.
That's what this is.
Blue and orange. Okay, the best of speech evaluators goes to Toastmaster Daksh. Yeah.
TTM is Nikhilesh.
Best of table topics speakers goes to Toastmaster Nikhilesh. El Presidente. I asked.
What on earth, Mansi?
Blue one, Mansi. The best of speaker goes to Toastmaster Mansi. And the final thing, the best of Big Four goes to Toastmaster Shambhavi. Oh, whoa, guys. And with that, I'd like to close the session, meeting number 240. The session is closed and open for networking.